So a rhythm of her own is all online. And I run retreats here on my land. And the only way now to be able to come to those retreats is to be part of the rhythm membership. I imagine that now that when people are in the membership, they will get like surprise offerings. Like, I'm going to do this thing in person here. I'll see you there. Just because I can't stop, right? So I don't know what that will look like yet in the future, but that's why I wanted to hold it in this membership way, because it means, like some of you mentioned before, that you get to go deep in the work, you get to know the women that are around you, and we get to do whatever the fuck we want, really, as we're creating our own rhythms of our own. So that's the way in. I think there will still be some people that will attend retreat who have just worked with me for a long time and understand this work, but I really would like to do that so that we're kind of all entering in the same place, because often with retreats and things, there's a lot of having to intro and organize and kind of sort people out before we can actually get into the work. But if we're doing this from this place now, like as soon as we all meet, we're like, yeah, we're here, let's do it. So that wouldn't be something you have to do, but it would be like an extra option. So does that answer your question, Jess, about the in-person? Yeah. And so, yeah, we've got these four streams: the moon, the seasons or the sun, the self, and the earth. And that looks like so many things, so many things. There's just so much content. And there's still so much more that I haven't even put into that platform that is sitting there waiting. So what I did was I took all the classes I've ever ran, basically, any ceremonies, any rituals that I've organized, and just started to, repurpose them and rework them into this content. So if there's something that you saw years ago that you thought, oh my God, I wish I'd done that with Hollie, well, guess what? It's probably in this membership anyway. Yeah. And it's probably heaps better now than it was 4 years ago because it's got a lot of more robusticity to it. It's in a founding membership right now, which just really means that if you join up now, it's cheaper. Yeah. And then that's always your price. But I'm not sure when I will change that. I'm not sure when it will open up to the normal pricing. But so right now it's $40 a month. It would go to $55 a month. And the reason I'm not sure is because I'm really taking the lead of these coaches who I've invested in to help me work all of this out. And so we're just going to see what happens, how many people we get in, all of that stuff. I do have some other programs as well. And at the moment, they're open to anyone to join. But I think eventually that will, just like the retreats, it will come down into you've got to be in the membership to funnel out to any of those other programs. And Kerry was asking me during the week what was the difference between between all of them. So I thought it's worth mentioning right now. So the rhythm, as we've said, is all about the sun and the moon and the seasons and the earth and magic. There's a bit of spellcrafting and magic in there. And yourself, the self work. Then kind of once you've been there for a while and you get this rhythm and you're deepening it into yourself, you might want to go the next level, and that's the shape shifting a wording woman's passage. And so that's really about very specific archetypes that we can map out here. And archetypes are really just energies, and these are women's energies, obviously, energies that women can tap into at any time. And so you might have heard of archetypes like the maiden, mother, crone. I don't play with that stuff because I think that calling an archetype something like a mother is very not inclusive of all the women in the world. So again, like I changed the words of the 8 spoke seasons, I changed the words of, not even just change the words, but they're actually different archetypes of daughter, enchantress, queen, and wise woman. And then sitting in the center of that is the wording woman. And she holds this space between witch and warrior. And so, really, in that program, we're working with those 7 archetypes. I think that the witch and the warrior the witch sits in the center, the warrior holds the edges and contains. So, it's not related to age, it's related to phase of your life. Yeah. Then we have the priestess of the wild ways, which is a year-long course, and it only opens once a year. So that one, you come in, you enter it, and you sit through it for the whole year. And you can always come back another year. And we've had quite a few people come back this year. And that one's really about, so we were talking first about sort of how we relate, how we're connecting in the world, how we're connecting to the earth and the sun and the moon. The priestess of the wild ways takes us into but how do we relate? How do we build an authentic self in relationship with other people with the support of the earth and the moon and the sun? So it really is a next level advanced kind of thing. I think that we still need this foundation of the rhythm to then get to that priestess work. And what I find with that one is They do it the first year. They love it. They're like, oh my God, this is shit I should have been taught forever. And then we come back the second year because now you actually get to practice it. It's like, when you get information, like, yeah, this is all amazing, but there's so much of it. So then next year you can actually come in and, okay, I know that, and now I'm going to practice this piece, or I'm going to practice this piece. So that one will open at the end of the year for next year. Then, advanced level is the In the Red Tent program, which is the one for women who run circles or hold spaces. And so this is like, so you've done all this work and you think, wow, I'd love to do this. This is, this would be amazing. And so whether that's holding space for retreats or circles or whatever, that's a therapeutic training really designed for non-therapists to be able to do good therapeutic work in circle. Because, obviously trauma-informed practice is one of my like big hills that I'll die on, I guess we can say. And, I hear all the terrible stories about all the not trauma-informed practice that happens in women's spaces. And so after years of complaining about this and pulling my hair out and going, why does this keep happening? I thought, well, I'll just design a program so it doesn't happen anymore. So that one is at the moment available no matter whether you're in the membership or not, and I don't know whether that will change. But also in that, because I tried to design it more like a business course, really. So it's got it's got an extra course around your money issues, working through your money shit, and then it's got a course around just business, like how to run a business, how to set up a business, all that. So it's covering all of those sorts of things. So I've managed to get myself down into 4 programs rather than all the different offerings that were out there. But really, I think A Rhythm of Your Own is the beginning, and I think it's the best place to start. And then as you get through it, and there's so much content in there that like you need kind of a year for each of them anyway, to really get in deep to it. But yeah, have a look and see what you would like to do or not. Obviously, no pressure to sign up to anything today. But you know what's here now, and that's all I wanted, for you to be able to know what's here and to be able to record it at the same time so other people can know it's here. So thank you for letting me take the time to record.